What's up, Flight Simulator? This is ShammyWow returning with another session. Here we are going to be flying the Airbus again, the Airbus 320, a very popular plane. We will be taking off from Atlanta and we will be going to St. Petersburg, Florida. Flight time here is estimated to be 48 minutes. It's 359 nautical miles. Flight conditions are going to be on live. Everything's going to be live. So let's see what we can get out of this. It is going to be 10:40 at night local time. We shall arrive roughly 50 minutes later, so that should be about 11:30. We'll be landing in St. Petersburg, Florida. The route has us flying like this. There's Haiti, that'll be our descent route. We'll start descending into St. Petersburg. We're going to land on runway 18 in PIE, which is St. Petersburg International here. She'll be landing over the water. Come in for a nice, beautiful touchdown. It looks like it's going to be fairly clear. Let's go ahead and get this thing loaded. So I'm going to be flying on a yoke and throttle system tonight. I do not have the joystick with me or rudder pedals, which shall be coming in this weekend. That'll make a big difference in our flight. I do not have my co-pilot with me. He is going to be a ghost again tonight. So we're going to shout out to AJ Sharkboy because he absolutely loves this game. But no co-pilot tonight, but maybe next time, maybe over the weekend, we'll get a co-pilot. Maybe he'll be pilot flying for a session like this. We'll see. So here I am in our infamous Airbus 320 with a gray and red coloring scheme. Very pretty. I definitely like this. So let's go ahead and let's get ready to fly. So I'm going to pull up a few things here. I'm going to pull up our weather map, or not our weather map, but our VRF map. I am going to pull this out and bring this onto a different screen. That way you guys don't have to see it the whole time. You can actually get the scenery of what's going on. Let's also bring up, let's see, I don't need anything special there. I am going to go into our settings and make sure our settings look correct. Let's go into our assistant options here. We are flying on hard. As you can see, navigation aids are off other than route and waypoints. Nothing there. Piloting, I'm going to use auto rudder because I don't have my rudder pedals. Points of interest are all off. User experience, we're going to leave ATC on. I believe I have that here. Auto ATC, yes, is on. Perfect. Go back. Let's go under general options here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the replay tool on. We will not start the replay yet, but when we get close to the airport, I'll go ahead and turn that on, and that way we can kind of see our landing from different perspectives. I like going into the passenger seat and just kind of watching the back part of the wing so you can see the ailerons and the flaps come out, spoilers. It's kind of just a nice relaxing view, something that I typically get when I fly. Just can look out the window and see us coming in for our touchdown. We also have a couple other views that are pretty fun. We got the under the wheels. That's AJ Sharkboy's favorite. Love seeing under the belly of the plane and the two engines out to the side. And we also have the passenger view that's right in front of the right engine. So you can kind of get a view of that coming in. So replay tool is on. Let's go ahead and go back here. Everything else looks good. Let's resume this. We are in our Airbus. Looks like all the passengers are on board. So at this point, the plane should be on. We're going to go ahead and boot this sucker up. Let's go ahead and we're going to run through our checklist here and see what we have. So before we start, we're going to switch our batteries to the on position. So let's go ahead and do that here. So batteries to the on position. So let's see, this battery left, right, or on.
Atlanta clearance delivery AJSHR
Make sure I'm right.
KVY
Yep, we got
69er
that.
Heavy
Take
IFR
that
to
item.
St. Petersburg.
External power on if available. Is right there. It is off. Let's turn that on. Engine bleed switches. So we want our engine bleeds, which is, we got our APU bleeds, of course, but our engine bleed, if we have that available.
At Sharkboy 69er, heavy cleared to St. Petersburg Airport as
So let's
filed.
see, APU switch on.
Takeoff runway 27 right climb
we
and
want our
maintain
APUs
11,000
on.
feet. Departure on 1 decimal 475 squawk
Let's
6572.
do APU start. Wait till that's available if I remember correctly.
Contact ground on 121.9er.
121.9er. Got it. So as we do this, our invisible co-pilot is going to be contacting ATC. So let's see.
Atlantic ground AJSH RKBOY 69er
We got
heavy.
an available.
Requesting
Let's start our
pushback.
APU bleed.
At Sharkboy 69er, heavy pushback request accepted.
Tick, tick. External power is going to be off. We do not need it, but it is available, but we don't need external power. Fuel pumps, we want to make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all on. All our fuel points are on. Let's check that off. Beacon is on, which is down here somewhere, right? Beacon lights is on. I believe that's what I wanted. Yep. So we are ready to start these engines. Let's go ahead and go down to the engines here. So let's see. So here's our engines. Thrust position is idle. Thruster idle. So thrust levers idle, check. Engine mode here. Let's see. I am going to get a better view of this thrust lever section. Engine mode, we want to have to ignition start. There we go. So check that. Engine 2 master on. Engine 1 master on. Check, check. Okay. And confirm stabilization. So let's go here. Let's confirm our stabilization of these engines coming up. Oh yeah, you can hear them spooling. Let's get an outside view here of the plane. Oh yeah, there goes the engines. Looking pretty good. Looks like we're getting pushback already. Awesome. Engines are coming alive. So let's go ahead and tick that item off. And let's do our after start. Once these engines fully spool up, we'll go ahead and turn our APU bleed off or APU master off. We won't need that. See what else is there on this bird that we need to be aware of. We're going to go ahead and
ground AJSH RKBOY 69er heavy, requesting the end of pushback.
Into pushback. So we are set there. Let's go ahead and set our flaps to 1.
Atlantic ground AJSH RKBOY 69er heavy with kilo,
Flap
ready
position
to taxi
1.
IFR.
At Sharkboy 69er, heavy taxi 2 and hold short of runway 27 right via taxiway. Contact tower
turn
on
our
119er
APU bleed
decimal
off.
when ready.
APU
Taxiing,
master
hold
switch
short
off.
runway 27 right using taxiway at Sharkboy 69er heavy.
And let's go back to the engine mode. Just faster click the button and set that to normal. All right, perfect. So we have the entire checklist is done. Checklist is complete. We don't need anything there. Go ahead and go back up here. They did a pushback here, which is very interesting that they stopped us. I would like to have gotten a little better pushback here. Let's go ahead and let's get ATC back on the horn. Ground services. I would like better pushback
Atlantic
than
ground
what they give us
AJSH
there.
RKBOY 69er heavy requesting pushback.
At Sharkboy 69er, heavy pushback request accepted.
Thank you. Let's go back in the cockpit here. We are going to turn our lights on. Let's turn our strobes on. Let's turn wing lights on. We have logo lights. Runway lights. Landing lights we don't need. Taxi lights. The taxi. Yeah, that's a lot better. We like seeing that. Let's see. What do we have over here? Seatbelt lights or seatbelt sign is on. No smoking sign on. I need to have a better view than that. Seatbelt signs are on. Let's see, what else do we have? An operative blower, smoke cabin. Never good when the pilot starts to yawn. It's been a long day. Been a very long day indeed, but everything else is looking pretty good. We're getting our pushback now onto the taxiway. Very happy with our progress here so far. Let's increase our distance here out because we need to be able to see where we are headed. So it looks like we'll be flying here. Let's go ahead and set our trajectory. See, our first waypoint is 159 degrees. Let's see, what else are we gonna have here? Let's do flight directory. That'll get us in the right. There's arc, nav, arc. Let's see. Let's climb at about 200 knots. That's a good climbing speed. Let's see what we have down here for our it's takeoff. V1's 144, rotate 151, V2 at 155. We look good there. Looks like we're going to be taking off 08 left. Climb phase. Whoa, where's this thing pushing us? Alright, ATC. Not used to,
Atlantic ground AJSH RKBOY 69er Heavy, requesting the end of pushback.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy request to end pushback received.
So that would be an immediate, evac there, but whoops. There's our cruise selected. Destination approach. So our approach is there. We do not have. We want 2 9er 2. Temperature I don't know yet. Wind I don't know yet. DH. Let's do a 50 on the DH. Configuration 3. Full landing. Looks good there. Let's go ahead. What did ATC tell us to do? Go back to clearance. So AJ Sharkboy is what we're left at here. Let's see. Take off runway 27 right. Climb and maintain 11,000 feet. 11,000 feet. Copy that. 11,000. Runway 27 right. So that's right around the corner from us here. Let's see. Departure frequency. Background. We did pushback, pushback, receive. Taxi 2 and hold short runway 27 right via taxiway. Gotcha. Alright, 27 right. Let's go ahead and get this bird rolling a little bit. So technically we were over here. It did quite a hellacious pushback for us. Here's a nice night shot here of the Atlanta airport as we are taxiing out. We are clear for taxi. There is nothing on the taxiway except for there is a plane up here in front of us, but we should be clear. This is the taxi to and hold short, runway 28 right. We've got some ground traffic here to the left. They should stop for us. Yep, they're taking the pathway. Good deal. There's Atlanta Tower all lit up. So this is one of the busiest airports in America, let alone the world actually. I think more planes come in and out of this airport. Woo. Alright ATC, you didn't tell me there's traffic on the runway. This is why we should always pay attention. They're taxiing off. It's a small plane, it should have waited for us, but that's okay. No harm, no foul. It's a very busy airport. More planes come in and out of here than almost all other airports. It is international, so you get a lot of flights from all over the world coming in. They got our cabin nice and cool tonight. Woohoo! Alright, so we are set up. We're looking good. We're rolling down. Runway 27. Interesting takeoff pattern, but we will exit runway 27, climb to 11,000 feet, as well as turn towards our destination here. Let's see. Anything that it wants us to do. Nothing specific. ATC should be handled by my co-pilot. So we have quite a ways to go here for takeoff. We are, however, going to use the entire landing strip. Even though we're not a large plane, in the essence of like a 747, we want to make sure we have plenty of room and headway. We don't need to cut corners anywhere. We're not in a hurry. Anytime you get in a hurry, that's when you end up with problems. We're going to wait for our taxi strip to come up here. We do not want this one, we want the next one. Rudder pedals will make this so much better. Thing looks good here. Go ahead and back off our throttle just a hair. We'll take this turn right here. That's some traffic on the outside of the runway there. That is one of the main roads, actually. We're going to hold short of this runway. Alright, holding short. Let's see, ATC should have done its job. Tower.
Atlanta Tower, AJSH RKBOY 69er Heavy, ready for departure runway 27 right IFR to St. Petersburg.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy altimeter, 30.01 wind 1905 at 6. Cleared for takeoff runway 27 right.
3001.
Cleared for takeoff runway 27 right at Sharkboy 69er
Whoa.
Heavy.
Not what I wanted. 301. There we go. 301. Wind at 19. So pretty much a tailwind, it looks like, which is odd. We have a tailwind coming in here. Actually, no, we're not going to have a tailwind. We're going to have a side wind from the almost straight on from where we're at now. I don't know why I said tailwind. I was a little disoriented. Very good for a pilot right before takeoff. So let's do our double check. Everything looks good. We're clear for takeoff. Let's close out ATC so we have visuals. Look to our left. I don't see anything. Anything down the landing strip? Nothing on the runway there. Let's go ahead and taxi out and prepare for takeoff. Cabin crew, prepare for takeoff. Engines seem to be performing well. Do not have an issue with the engines at all. Co-pilot clear. Pilot clear. Pilot flying. I'm in control. My aircraft. Let's go ahead and spool up here. Yeah, engines seem to be performing well. Nice flex takeoff here. We are passing V1. There's our rotate. Come on. Come on. Give me some climb. There we go. Positive rate of climb. Landing gear up.
Sharkboy 69er Heavy contact Atlanta departure on 133.475. Good day.
Going to 133.475 at Sharkboy 69er Heavy. Atlanta departure AJSH RKBOY 69er Heavy is passing 1,900 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy Atlanta departure altimeter 30.01, continue to hand it as planned.
Alright, here we go, guys. I went ahead and engaged autopilot. We are on a climb. We're going to turn here for our navigational point, I believe. This thing should have us en route. We are 105 miles off from our first waypoint. Not too bad. Got a nice view here. There's Atlanta Airport. And back that way would be Atlanta. Off in the distance. Definitely a lit up city, that's for sure. Everything's checking out fine. Looks good. Look back behind us. We're looking good there. So thrust levers are being controlled by the autopilot here. I'm gonna go ahead and flaps up. And let's increase our speed to 250 knots. Good positive rate of climb. It does look like something a little funky here. My altitude and my speedometer are completely gone. Both sides. Let's do one little trick. Not gaining any altitude or any speed for that matter. Why were the speed brakes set? That is a very odd thing. Speed brakes were set on this aircraft. That is not normal. That may have been a mistake by my part by trying to put the landing gear up and hitting the wrong direction on my controls. We have our waypoints in. Autopilot is going to be taking us there. I don't see any issues with our rate of climb. Rate of climb looks good. Go ahead and go back in here. Go ahead and kill some of these lights that don't need to be on. Taxi lights can go off. Landing lights are off. Wing lights we don't need right now. Beacon light we'll leave on. Way turn light will turn off. So strobes on auto. Beacon light is on. Landing lights are off. Everything else is good there. We're looking pretty darn good. Go back out here. You can see our altitude, our climb rate there on the right hand side. We're
Sharp 69er heavy contact Atlanta Center on 128.0. Good day.
Decimal zero. All right. Good day.
128.0 for its Sharkboy 69er Heavy. Atlanta Center AJSH RKBOY 69er Heavy is at 8,900 feet climbing 11,000 feet.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy Atlanta Center altimeter 30.06, continue to Hammett as planned.
Copy that.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy traffic is 5 o'clock 4 miles at 12,400 feet generic.
5 o'clock.
Them in sight.
I cannot see them from my direction.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy have the generic in sight.
We're almost to 11,000 feet. Let's see.
Atlanta Center American 229er is passing 11,800 feet, descending 4,000 feet. American 229er Atlanta Center altimeter 30.06, continue to PRMAN as planned. At Sharkboy 69er Heavy climb and maintain flight level 230.
Flight level 230, copy that.
Climb and maintain flight level 230 at Sharkboy 69er Heavy.
Climb and maintain. Will do. So these planes are fun to fly. They can be a little dull at times, but you're still flying. Just like driving a school bus. Since we have pretty clear skies, I'm going to go ahead and just let autopilot take control of this flight. Don't need anything special. I am going to pull our waypoint service in here.
Southwest 948, you are 12 miles east of Atlanta. Contact Atlanta Tower on 125.325 when inbound on the approach. Tower on 125.325 Southwest 948. At Sharkboy 69er Heavy contact Atlanta Center on 134.5. Good day.
134.5 at Sharkboy 69er Heavy. Atlanta Center AJSHR KBOY 69er Heavy is passing 15,200 feet, climbing flight level 230.
230.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy Atlanta Center altimeter 30.03. Continue to hand it as planned.
There we are. This is what it'd be like to be in the cabin right now. Nice evening flight. Everything's dimmed out. You can see the wing. Here, our left wing. Aircraft is in pretty good condition. About 73 miles out from our first waypoint. This is on the right side here. And we're viewing right in front of the right engine, the right thruster there.
Atlanta Center Delta 2130 is at flight level 205, descending 10,000 feet. Delta 2130 Atlanta Center, continue as planned.
AJ Sharkboy's favorite view underneath the plane. Just looking at our flight map here while we're floating around.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 28 approach via Terry transition.
We have a lot of air traffic here. Go ahead and get back in the cockpit.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 28 approach via Terry transition. Cleared to Terry Delta 1032.
Setting our match speed here now that we are in the air and up pretty high.
69er heavy climb and maintain flight level 290.
290. Roger that.
Climb and maintain flight level 290 at Sharkboy 69er Heavy.
We're increasing our airspeed to Mach 0.8. Not really our airspeed, our ground speed to Mach 8. Mach 0.8. But our airspeed here is holding about 340 while we climb. Pretty good speed. We're almost actually at overspeed here, but not trying to push things too hard, but we do want to get there pretty quick. The faster we get there, the more money the airline makes, as they say. Once we get to our cruising altitude, I believe it's 37,000 feet for today, we should be able to relax back on our engines here, save some fuel.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy contact Atlanta Center on 123.95. Good day.
123.95 at Sharkboy 69er Heavy. Atlanta Center AJSHR KBOY 69er Heavy is passing flight level 245, climbing flight level 290.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy Atlanta Center, continue to hand it as planned.
Should have looked at our takeoff timer. I did not, and that is a mistake. We're currently sitting at local time of 11:14 p.m. So we'll try to make up some distance here if we can. We're getting the first third of this leg done. once we hit this waypoint, we'll be directed a little bit more south. Definitely an awesome view from up here. There's AJ Sharkboy's seat, hence why the call sign is after him today. It's a video for him. We're over Air Force Base there. So we are leveling ourselves out here for the first waypoint at 290 feet.
Atlanta Center UPS 1345 is at flight level 380, descending 10,000 feet. UPS 1345 Atlanta Center, continue as planned.
Everything's looking pretty good. I got my flight controls in hand.
69er heavy climb and maintain flight level 350.
350, confirming.
Climb and maintain flight level 350 at Sharkboy 69er Heavy.
So if you ever noticed that while you're riding in a passenger jet, that you feel like you're climbing and then it kind of feels like you level out and then you start climbing again, that's usually when you reach the approved altitude from ATC or ground control, and you have it set in your autopilot. And so as you approach that, your angle of attack, more or less, you start to reduce that so you don't have as much vertical climb. So you kind of slow down so that way the plane isn't just abruptly going down to level itself out. So it'll start to level itself out, that's what you'll feel, and then you usually get approved for your next flight level. And when you get that, you set it in the autopilot, punch that in, and then the plane starts to climb back at its normal climbing velocity. And that's where you get that little bit of up and down feeling as you are ascending into the air until you get to full cruise altitude. Descent is kind of similar. The descent is a little less felt just because it's a little smoother. You don't have as much angle of attack when you're descending as you do while you're climbing. So if you look down here below, you can see on our main screen our thrust levers are being auto throttled. So we got auto throttle enabled. We are set in a climb position, and we are following navigations, which is over here to the right. As you can see, our first waypoint, Hanet, 160 degrees. It's 18 nautical miles away. It's 27 minutes and 19 seconds into the flight. Our ground speed is 478, and our true airspeed is 476. We have wind at 252 coming in from or headed towards 15 degrees, 14 degrees.
Passing flight level 300, descending 10,000 feet.
All right, autopilot's in altitude star, so that means we're getting close. We're in speed lock there, so everything's getting close. Let's go ahead and back out of there. Our engines are at 75% climb speed. Once we fully level off here at 35,000, you'll see oil looks good.
69er heavy climb and maintain flight level 370.
370, we got full climbing.
Climb and maintain flight level 370 at Sharkboy 69er Heavy.
And there we go.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy,
Exhaust looks
Jacksonville
good.
Center on 125.75. Good day.
There's fuel, oil.
125.75
Pressure.
at Sharkboy 69er Heavy. Jacksonville
full
Center
fuel.
AJSH RKBOY 69er Heavy is at flight level 350, climbing flight level 370.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy Jacksonville Center, continue to Hanet as planned.
Roger that. So as you can see here, as we climb, we'll be able to increase our speed just ever so slightly. I am going to not put us at overspeed, but we want to definitely climb And here we go towards our next vector. $37,000 feet and banking. Bring up ATC. Jacksonville Center. Everything looks good there. We are looking good. Looking good. We're almost at flight level 350. We're going to increase our speed here.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, contact Jacksonville Center on 1 tree, 2 decimal tree. Good day.
1 tree 2 decimal tree at Sharkboy 69er Heavy. Jacksonville Center AJSHR KBOY 69er Heavy, flight level tree 70.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, Jacksonville Center, continue to ROCKM as planned.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
Overspeed? According to this, it's not.
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
FedEx 1657 traffic is 9 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 385 Airbus A320N.
Overspeed.
Report them in sight.
Overspeed.
At
Overspeed.
Sharkboy 69er Heavy traffic is 8 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 360 generic. Report them in sight.
Can't report anything at 8 o'clock.
Overspeed.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy traffic in sight.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
FedEx 1657 traffic in sight.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
FedEx 1657 contact Jacksonville Center on 125.75. Good day.
Alright. We are cruising at about as fast as we can. We
125.75 FedEx 1657.
we climbed much faster than we needed to, but that's okay. You can see our waypoints here are set for a very slow rate of climb. This next waypoint in 20 miles, we would have been at 33,000 feet, but ATC went ahead and gave us clearance up to 370, so there we are. We are cruising about as fast as we
At
can go.
Sharkboy 69er Heavy contact Jacksonville Center on 133.7.
ATC loves to interrupt you. They just love it.
1 tree decimal 7 at Sharkboy 69er Heavy. Jacksonville Center AJSHR KBOY 69er Heavy, flight level tree 70.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, Jacksonville Center, continue to India Foxtrot Mike as planned.
India Foxtrot Mike. Got it. Gravity extension gears. I wonder, does that actually have an option? No. So, gravity extension gears. So if you have a issue with your hydraulic system, for instance in this plane, and your hydraulics go completely out for your landing gear, so say you pull your landing gear lever down, your landing gear do not confirm, they do not go down, you have no active lights on your gear, you confirm with ground that you do not have your landing gear extended. As a backup option, we have what is known as a gear extension, gravity gear extender. So we pull this we pull this lever, right, and rotate it. What this will do is your landing gear doors will unlock, they will fall open. Your landing gear itself has a lock on it as well. That lock will release, and gravity will pull the landing gear down. It'll fall out, and then basically it'll go ka-chunk, lock in place, and you are set. The downfall to this is you cannot get your landing gear back up. So without hydraulics, landing gear do not go back up. So you are going to commit to the landing gear being down. What that means for us is if you're in an emergency case scenario, you need to be well aware that when that landing gear go down, you increase drag on the plane. So you're going to have to increase your thrust in order to keep or maintain the same level of speed. So you want to use that kind of as a last resort, last minute feature of the plane. You do not want to just haphazardly pull that lever until you are ready and all options have been exhausted. So, let's see what else we have here. Don't have any master cautions. I have not set up any for this flight. I've decided to make sure that all issues that we could have are disabled because I want a nice smooth flight. It'd be really nice to be able to do that in real life.
At Sharkboy 69er heavy traffic is 1 o'clock 4 miles at flight level tree 80 generic. Report them in sight.
Oh.
Southwest 428 traffic is 2 o'clock 2 miles at flight level tree 85 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
And Sharkboy 69er Heavy have the traffic.
Got one flying by us, that's for sure. Kind of late there, ATC.
Southwest 428 have the traffic.
See, I am going to go ahead and open up a secondary mapping system here. Nice little plug-in VFR map for flight sim there. Turn that on. We should get a confirmation notice here. I believe I tried to turn those off. Looks like we did. But it's a nice little external map that you can pull up in your browser and use as street maps, I believe. And you can kind of see where you're at and get a good idea of airspeed and hitting. So we are practically over Valdosta. Here, we're not too far out. So just at the bottom tip of Georgia. And be entering Florida here momentarily. So some fun facts about the Airbus system, or Airbus product. Airbus was the world's largest airline manufacturer in 2019, with a total of 863 planes were delivered. It's the first airliner to introduce fly-by-wire flight control systems, with the plane that we're flying, the Airbus 320. All Airbus
125.905 at Sharkboy 69er Heavy.
So all Airbus.
Jacksonville Center AJS
Thanks, ATC.
KBOY 69er Heavy, flight level tree 70.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy Jacksonville Center, continue to Jogos as planned.
Alright, so all Airbus cockpits are the same, allowing pilots to switch from one type of Airbus to another. So that's a pretty cool fact, actually. Keeps everything simple, the KISS principle.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy traffic is 1 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 400 generic.
And there it
Report
is.
them in sight.
We got them in sight.
And Sharkboy 69er Heavy traffic in sight.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy contact Jacksonville Center on 133.7. Good day.
133.7 for at Sharkboy 69er Heavy. Jacksonville Center AJSHR KBOY 69er Heavy, flight level tree 70.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy Jacksonville Center, continue to Oscar Tango Kilo as planned.
Another fun fact about the Airbus, that
Jacksonville Center Southwest for 25 is at flight level 400, descending 10,000 feet.
So,
Southwest 425 Jacksonville Center.
you never can
continue
get a
as
word in
planned.
as a pilot. So one Airbus takes off or lands somewhere every 2 seconds around the globe. So that's pretty impressive. The largest operator of the Airbus is the American Airlines. They have over 390 planes in their fleet from the Airbus 320. Of course, the film Sully, or the Miracle on the Hudson, back in 2009, I believe, January 15th, 2009 is when that accident happened, and the film came out in 2016. That aircraft was an Airbus 320. The movie's based on a true story about the emergency landing on the Hudson River in New York from U.S. Airways Flight 1549, which was struck by a flock of geese, Canadian geese, if I remember correctly, and they hit pretty much a large migrating group of birds, which caused a bird strike to go in at both engines. And the Airbus engines are actually designed to take bird strikes. Usually what happens is as the bird enters into the first rotating fins, they will get caught in that and they will be spit out. But that's a normal bird. A Canadian geese is 3 to 4 times the size of a normal bird, and when those hit this particular flight, when those hit the engines, they were injected directly into the core, completely destroying the engines on impact. Multiple birds were found in both engines. Fan blades were destroyed. The core of the engine had bird remains in it. It was quite a nasty bird strike, which is what brought that plane down. Disabling both engines at, I believe it was 2,800 feet or something like that. Not very high off the ground. It happened relatively quick. I believe their whole flight time was 208 seconds when that pilot was able to bring them down in the Hudson, in the water. Complete miracle, definitely worth reading up on or watching the movie. The things that just had to line up in order for that to happen was miraculous. Just from the type of aircraft that they took that day, ended up being a water version of the plane versus the non-water version, which allowed the plane to be equipped with life vests and rafts, which they typically would not have been. But they just had that plane for that particular time. The water, January 15th in New York, it is cold, but the river and that water did not have ice on it at that time where they came down, so they were able to actually land on a very calm plane, which if you've ever seen the waters, when you can land, it was I say calm, but it was choppy enough where the water tension was broken. So when they hit, they didn't have this smack like a concrete structure that they hit. That water tension being broke allowed them to have a much smoother landing. They did hit on their tail. I believe it hit pretty hard on the tail, which caused a few injuries in the aft part of the plane. But not a single person died. All 155 passengers and crew member were able to get off that plane with just minor injuries. Very impressive. So pilots must earn their type rating in the Airbus 320 to be qualified to fly this aircraft, and in most cases, the airlines you fly for will get you this type rating.
69er heavy contact, Jacksonville Center on 135.325. Good day.
So Airbus is a single-aisle jetliner.
25 and Shark Boy 69er heavy.
It's a first.
Jacksonville Center AJSHR KBOY 69er heavy, flight level tree 70.
At Shark Boy 69er heavy, Jacksonville Center, continue to SETI as planned.
All right. So its first flight was in February 22nd, 1987. Primary airlines for the Airbus are American Airlines, EasyJet, China Eastern Airlines, and China Southern Airlines. They hold between 150 and 180 passengers on the Model 8, 320, 100, and 200. The A320 estimated cost in 2011 was $88 million per plane. So pretty good amount of change there. Yeah, some good interesting facts about this aeroplane. So there are 490 switches in this plane in the cockpit, and if you are working to memorize that and you learn one a day, it's going to take you a year and a half to learn all the switches inside this cockpit. So definitely a lot.
At Shark Boy 69er heavy contact, Jacksonville Center on 127.8.
So I feel like we should be descending here soon.
127.8 at Sharkboy 69er Heavy. Jacksonville Center AJSHR KBOY 69er Heavy, flight level tree 70.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy Jacksonville Center, continue to SETI as planned.
We're going to there. Let's see.
Jacksonville Center AJSHR KBOY 69er Heavy requesting vector to next waypoint.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, continue to SETI turning and following heading 155, resume on navigation.
Continue to SETI turning and following heading 155, proceed on course at Sharkboy 69er Heavy.
Alright, let's request a decrease in cruising altitude. I cannot see what it wants us to decrease to. Let's decrease by, let's go to 29er.
Jacksonville Center AJSHR KBOY 69er Heavy. Request flight level 290.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, descend and maintain flight level 290.
Descend and maintain flight level 290 at Sharkboy 69er Heavy.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, descend and maintain 17,000 feet.
Okay.
Descend and maintain 17,000 feet at Sharkboy 69er Heavy.
We can do that as well. So 17,000 feet. Let's go ahead and reduce our speed here as we come down. 250 knots. So the Airbus is also known for its fuel efficiency. It's very economic compared to a bunch of other jets at the time.
Jacksonville Center Southwest 2658 is at flight level 370, descending 10,000 feet.
So we are
Southwest
over Florida here.
Jacksonville Center, continue as planned.
So over there is going to be Jacksonville.
3749er contact Jacksonville Center on 135.325.
That's Gainesville, Florida there. So we look up here, we're hitting the Tampa and St. Pete area is ahead of us. I believe that is going to be Ocala there, and then past that off in the distance is going to be Orlando. So we are in our descent. Everything is looking good. Let's get another view from inside the plane here. Everybody looks to be pretty happy. Nothing of any major concern for people. Get a nice outside view of the plane here. Top down shot as we're going over the panhandle part of Florida still. We will be slightly off the coast as we come in. We're 25 nautical miles out. Nothing over the water. So we are descending, which is good. I believe we're going to be descending a little bit fast here, or we're coming up to our next waypoint a little bit on the fast side. So this is what it has us at here. Right down there. So we are coming in. You can see here's Gainesville. There's Ocala. There's Kissimmee. Or Kissimmee. And here is our airport PIE right here that we want. We're up here, so we are going to slow our speed down. So our rate of descent will stay the same, but our airspeed will be reduced, meaning we will cover less distance as we are dropping our altitude. So if you want to drop your altitude earlier but maintain the same descent, you just lower your airspeed. Right now we're pretty much at idle thrust, to hold airspeed at 250. I'm going to go ahead and drop it back to 230 here. For it to do that, you can see it kind of flared the front of the nose up just a hair. Try to drop our speed. Let's go ahead and see. Let's go out to 160 miles here. See, at 160 miles out, we are doing pretty darn good. So let's go into 80, 40. Next waypoint's about 40 miles out past this one. Pull our BRF map up here again. You guys will be able to see a little bit of what we have. So here's our first waypoint. This is about 40 miles out right here. A little less than that. There. Let's go out to 80 miles. As you get to 80 miles out, you can see that we're getting pretty much close to our approach at 80 miles out. So we're getting there. Go ahead and pull our airspeed back a little bit more. Everything's looking pretty good. Our engines are practically at idle, which for a descent is not uncommon. Pretty short flight, but that's not a bad thing. So in 20 miles, we should be at 14,000 feet according to our flight directory. ATC always has you fly something different. Always something different. We are in descent, thruster idle. We're looking pretty good. We're descending about 1,900 feet a minute, so it's going to take another couple minutes for us to get down to flight level 1700. 17,000. There's our flight time, and it is currently 11:43. So we're arriving a bit late, but we had kind of a late departure there, punching everything in, because our plane was actually completely off, and we had to run the checklist. We had to do everything from the get-go there. I'd like to be down probably another 3,000 feet. Let's see if we can get that from ATC. Not there yet.
Jacksonville Center AJSHR KBOY 69er Heavy requesting vector to next waypoint.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, continue to Kajai turning and following heading 155, resume on navigation.
Continue to Kajai turning and following heading 155, resume on navigation at Sharkboy 69er Heavy.
Let's see what we have here.
On 133.325. Good day. Going to 133.325 Southwest 2658.
We should maintain a constant descent here. It looks like. ATC, do we have anything from you? We're getting nothing. Nothing. I'm going to go ahead and drop our altitude down to 10,000. We are not that far out. Pull up our fuel here. We're at 45%. We have plenty of fuel. Navigation log is here. Looks like we hit that in 14 minutes, 43 seconds, a minute and 23. So our total trip time 48:24. Local time is 11:47. It's looking good.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, contact Jacksonville Center on 133.325. Good day.
133.325 for its Sharkboy 69er Heavy. Jacksonville Center AJSHR KBOY 69er Heavy is passing 15,000 feet, climbing 17,000 feet.
Not climbing, descending.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, Jacksonville Center altimeter 30.07, continue to end it as planned.
3.07. Here we go. So yeah, nice easy flight. It's nice not having to really worry about the flight systems too much. Autopilot is taking control of most things. We will try this flight as well. We'll do a very similar one. Coming out of one of my...
Heavy, you are 3,600 feet below your assigned altitude.
Yes, I
Climb
know.
and maintain 17,000
Negative.
feet altimeter 30.06.
Negative.
Climb and maintain 17,000 feet at Sharkboy 69er Heavy.
Negative. ATC's fun, but it doesn't really know. Unless they've gotten better. I haven't tried it since, but ATC's been known to be a little funky. Trying to tell you to do something in your flight path is like, you're coming in for a landing. You don't need to be at 17,000 feet. You need to be at 6,800. 20 miles out, 6,800. bring us up to 220 knots. We're at a little bit better altitude than... Whew. Bringing our speed up.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, please expedite your climb 17,000 feet.
Expediting climb, negative. So, we have some air traffic coming in our way, directly in front of us, which might be why. Luckily, it's above us. So, yeah, ATC, if I was to expedite my climb to 17,000 feet, that air traffic that's in front of us, I might end up hitting them. Very brilliant, huh? I'll go ahead and drop us to 7,000.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, please expedite your climb 17,000 feet.
How about I expedite a descent here towards my next waypoint? I have a mapped plan, and you are killing it.
Jacksonville Center, AJSHR KBOY 69er Heavy requesting vector to next waypoint.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, continue to ended turning and following heading 155, proceed on course.
Continue to ended turning and following heading 155, proceed on course at Sharkboy 69er Heavy.
Jacksonville Center Southwest 29er12 is passing flight level 390, descending 10,000 feet. Southwest 29er12 Jacksonville Center, continue as planned.
Definitely over the water. Gulf of Mexico here. Find our waypoints if I zoom out here.
Southwest 549er, contact Jacksonville Center on 127.
We're about 40 miles out.
Good day. 127.8 Southwest 549er. At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, please expedite your climb 17,000 feet. Jacksonville Center Southwest 1486 is at 14,600 feet, descending 2,600 feet. Southwest 1486 Jacksonville Center altimeter 30.06, continue to Papa India Echo as planned. Cessna 884, you are 41 miles northeast. Descend and maintain 7,000 feet, expect ILS runway 18 approach via Whipso transition. Cleared to Whipso.
For some reason auto throttle is not on.
Climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 18 approach via Whipso transition. Cleared to Whipso Cessna 884. At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, please expedite your climb 17,000 feet.
So our auto throttle got set off, and that was my fault for bumping a controller.
4 miles at flight level 390 generic. Report them in sight.
So a fun fact about auto
At
throttle.
Sharkboy 69er Heavy, you are 3 miles north. Climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 18 approach via Whipso transition. Cleared to Whipso. FedEx 137 contact Jacksonville Center on 127.8. Good day. At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, descend and maintain 1,700 feet.
Descend and maintain 1,700 feet. Expect ILS runway 18 approach via Whipso transition. Cleared to Whipso at Sharkboy 69er Heavy.
Southwest 2077, contact Miami Center on 132.35. Good day.
Maintain present heading and altitude at Sharkboy 69er Heavy.
11397 have the generic in sight.
We are getting very close here to St. Petersburg. Let's go ahead and drop our airspeed down here to 200 knots. We're literally just above Newport Richey. Coming into St. Pete there. I believe that is Tampa that you're seeing over there.
127.8 American 13907.
About 20 miles out, give or take.
At Sharkboy 69er heavy contact Tampa approach on 125.3. Good day. Southwest 1486 contact Tampa approach on 118.5. Good day.
125.3 for its Sharkboy 69er heavy. Tampa approach AJSH RKBOY 69er heavy is passing 4,500 feet, descending 1,700 feet.
At Sharkboy 69er heavy Tampa approach altimeter 30.06, continue to Whipso as planned.
Yep, there's Tarpon Springs. Or Lake Tarpon, which is going to be Tarpon Springs.
At Sharkboy 69er heavy descend and maintain 2,600 feet.
Geez, okay.
Descend and maintain 2,600 feet at Sharkboy 69er heavy.
Clearwater Air Park, so that's basically where our runway is. Clearwater Air Park there. Close enough, our ground radar's coming into effect. Really don't need it today. I can see clear. So as I was saying, fun fact about the auto throttle, you're at full throttle, the plane will stay at toga power until you back it off. Once you back it off, the auto throttle will then kind of control the throttle for you. If you go to complete idle, the auto throttle will disable. And then you have manual controls. You can override, but let's see here. We are getting close. We are, where are we? We're just a couple off. We're going to go ahead and drop our flaps and lower our speed to 190. So let's go ahead and lower our speed to 190 knots. 26 feet. We'll go ahead and give us flap 1. The airport is directly in front of us. Looks like the plane went ahead and put its landing gear down. I did not do that.
At Sharkboy 69er heavy, you are 14 miles north of St. Petersburg. Contact tower on 118.3 when inbound.
Tower on 118.3 at Sharkboy 69er heavy. Tower AJSH RKBOY 69er heavy 14 miles north inbound ILS runway 18 approach.
At Sharkboy 69er heavy tower. Altimeter 30.08, wind calm, cleared ILS runway 18 approach.
Cleared ILS runway 18 approach at Sharkboy 69er heavy.
Turn the localizer. Didn't slow us down some more. Do 160 knots. Localizer is on.
2,500.
See, let's go ahead and hit our approach here. ILS approach is enabled. Everything's looking good. .157 on our speed. We are in configuration 2. Let's go ahead and go to config 3. Let's go ahead, landing gear down. Confirm landing gear is down. Landing gear down.
69er, heavy wind calm, clear to land runway 18.
Winds calm 18. Copy that.
Clear to land runway 18 at Shark Boy 69er heavy.
Drop this speed to 153. Stay well above our speed. Let's go ahead and arm speed brakes. Armed. We want medium speed brakes. We don't need a whole lot. Anti-skid is on. Alright folks, we're coming in for a landing. Let's go ahead and get the replay going here. .1,000 feet. We're coming in. Plane's doing a pretty good job holding this localizer. As I say that, we hit a gust of wind. We are over the water. We're looking pretty smooth here coming into St. Pete. Alright, eyes ahead. Make sure our instruments look good. On an ILS approach, most of the time, all we need to do is make sure we're looking like we're supposed to. We make our runway. We know we have it made, which right now I know we can make it there. We can kill complete power and have the runway made.
400.
Let's see how ILS brings us in here. This is looking good.
300. 200. 100. 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard 5.
Full reverse throttle. And give me some brakes. And throttle off. Reverse throttle off. And we are on the ground.
Heavy exit runway when able.
Exit runway when able. 10-4, copy that. Next landing strip is a little ways down. We're going to go ahead and take a right. Coming up here shortly. What is our ground speed? It is, it's like 27 knots. We're going to go ahead and take this right here.
At Shark Boy 69er heavy turn, next taxiway.
Already done.
Shark Boy 69er heavy contact ground on 121.9er.
121.9er at Shark Boy 69er heavy. Ground AJSH RKBOY 69er heavy taxi to the gate.
At Shark Boy 69er heavy taxi to gate 1 via taxiway Bravo Alpha.
Taxiway Bravo Alpha.
Taxiing to gate 1 via taxiway Bravo Alpha at Shark Boy 69er heavy.
Gate 1, taxiway, Bravo Alpha. I believe the gates are up here. I cannot see. Bravo Alpha. Taxiway to ground 1. Gate 1. How do we know which one is Gate 1? They do not say.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, hold position, caution, other traffic.
Holding position.
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, continue taxi.
Hold position at Sharkboy 69er Heavy.
I'm going to go ahead and do one thing. I don't call it cheating, but, you know, piloting. Here, notifications, navigational aids. Let's do taxi ribbons because I am not familiar with this runway. That's what I thought it wanted us to do, but well, that guy should have cleared the airport. We are almost there. We are taxiing in. I do not see my taxi crew. We are on the line. We don't have a guy to taxi. There we are. And we are set. Everything looks good. Let's go ahead and ground services. Let's go ahead and do jetway connection.
Ground AJSH RKBOY 69er Heavy. Could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, we can't connect the jetway to the aircraft. Please retry later.
See if they can do it now.
Ground AJSH RKBOY 69er
We actually
Heavy.
have no
Could
ground
you please
crew.
connect the jetway to the aircraft?
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, we can't connect the jetway to the aircraft. Please retry later.
It's a little busted, doesn't it? Oh well. I call this a successful landing. Successful for me,
Ground
successful for our
AJSH RKBOY 69er Heavy.
our
Could you
entire
please
crew.
send the catering truck?
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, the catering truck is on the road.
Ground AJSH RKBOY 69er Heavy. Could you please send the baggage?
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, baggage is on the way.
Baggage is on the way, catering is on the way. Can we
Ground
do jet?
AJSH RKBOY 69er Heavy. Could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, we can't connect the jetway to the aircraft. Please retry
Oh
later.
well. Let's do fuel.
Ground
and power
AJSH
supply.
RKBOY 69er Heavy. Could you please send a fuel truck?
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, a fuel truck is on the road.
Ground AJSH RKBOY 69er Heavy, could you please send a ground power unit?
At Sharkboy 69er Heavy, a ground power unit is on the road.
Good deal. All right, ground power unit. Let's go ahead and shut this puppy down. Engines down. Beautiful. Beautiful. So we had a flight time of just over 1 hour in the air on the Airbus. Very nice. Very nice. 241 to 342. 1 hour in the air. Well, thank you for flying AJ Sharkboy's Airbus 320 service from Atlanta to St. Petersburg, Florida. We hope you enjoyed this flight. It is it's a little after 12 o'clock local time. So we got you in. And safe arrival. I appreciate it.